Good morning, students. So I'm just here with another quick how to make icons with CSS tutorial. So we're gonna focus on this friend here. I'm gonna first make this shape, and I'm gonna show you how to use a gradient to make it kind of look like we have multiple shapes. Then we'll create this shape, and then we'll use a box shadow to create this shape. And then I'll show you some techniques that you can use to make things look like they are just outlined and that they have no fill. So some more advanced visualization techniques here, and also some alternative ways of making multiple shapes. So I'm going to head back here. Okay, so I have here's where I'm working. I'm in box 2, and I have my spaceship div, and then I have a clouds div. So I just started with a really simple, oops, this is for later, so let's comment that out for now. I started with a really simple width, height, background color, and margin general shape, just like a rectangle for... Okay, let me close this out real quick. Okay, so, and we're going to be looking at this with let me just find my web inspector. Where did you go? There we go. Okay, so make sure that you're just targeting mobile only for when we're building your icons. We're going to worry about the media queries for these later. So for instance, if you view it on iPad, things are going to look a little screwy because we'll have to use our media queries to adjust these. But for now, let's just focus on iPhone. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make that shape for the general rocket ship. So I'm going to do the border radius. We'll do top left. I'm just going to pull all these out. Okay, and I'll just do like 15 and 15 for now. All right. Okay, and then I'll just start here as well with the other sides. Okay, and then I'm going to just use my web inspector to tweak it. And I'm probably going to end up having to rotate it and potentially change the height and the width. So I'm going to first just change it to a more circular shape. Okay. Alright, so looking like the bottom right, and I think I want the top left radius to probably be about the same. About 56. Okay, and then I'll do a transform, rotate, And I want to do probably like okay. So I think that should be good. And you know, this shape doesn't look exactly how I want it to look. We can tweak it a little more. And let's also make it, I think it would be a little wider. Okay. No, I want to keep that point, right? I'm just going through and kind of just tweaking these just so, there we go. Okay, so I just want to kind of make it generally bigger, and maybe I want to rotate it just a little bit more. Okay, so I think that looks okay for now. We can use scale on it later if we'd like to just kind of make it bigger or smaller. So I'm going to copy this over to spaceship. And then what I'm going to do is to get that top portion of it, let's look at that sketch again. To get this top portion of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call, instead of a background color, I'm going to call a, so we'll keep this here in case we need it later. I'm going to call a background image, and I'm going to do a linear gradient. And I'm going to start it at, let's say we want it to be red and white for now. So let's just say red and white. Okay. And I think we're going to need, so let's go ahead and look up our linear gradient. Okay, and then we can say to bottom, I believe. Let's see. We have a couple different options. So using angles, so we can put an angle right here. So maybe we can try 90 degrees. Let's see what that does for us. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and open up the web inspector again, and let's mess with this. I'm going to do -90 and then also kind of tweak it because I want the red to be at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to add in some percentages. So if I do 50 and 50%, it'll give me a nice clean line there. Okay, so we'll rotate that, and then I'm just gonna move this up. So I want this to maybe be like 10%, and when we'll do 90, no, was this 10? Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's try 30 and 30. There we go. Okay. That's gonna be the little top. Maybe we want a little less. 20 and 20. So if, long story short, if your gradient percentages are the same, then it will make things look like they're kind of like chopped. So if we add another one, here's where things get really cool. And we can use, instead of using a hex color or a color word, we can use something called RGBA. We use RGB colors, so red, green, or blue. And we want to use this just to generate. We could either use it to generate black on the bottom, because we're going to make it look like it's just kind of chopped off, or we can add another unit and make it transparent. So 0 would be transparent, so whatever color is in the background will come through. 1 will be totally opaque, but I have, so not see-through, but I have the color of black, because 0, 0, 0 is black. If you want to find RGB colors, you can find them in Illustrator pretty easily. So if you click here, here's your RGB colors down here. You can also find them in any color picker. Just look for the RGB. Okay, so for those of you that are not taking art and tech, just remember that I'm going to put some comments in here. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me copy this over. Just going to copy all this over so I don't miss anything. Okay. So just remember that the RGB colors, it goes red, green, blue, and then alpha. That's your alpha channel. Alpha channel is what's responsible for opacity. So for the red, the green, or the blue, 0 would be none of that color, and then 255 would be all that color. So you should never have anything more than 255 in any of these parameters. And then the alpha is going to go from 0 to 1, so 0.5 would be half transparent. Okay, so we're going to do 0 here, so it'll be transparent, so that anytime I change the color of the background color will just come through. And then we'll also give this, I believe, the same percentage. So if we hover over this, okay, let's see. Let's head back here. Oops. Oh, let me save this. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. It's going to use our web inspector. Oops, come here. Okay, so let's try messing with this 20%. Okay. So I want this to also have that nice clean line, so I want to tweak that one. Let's see. Maybe this needs to be like 25? No, because that breaks it. Okay, well, I think we'll go with this for now. We can kind of perfect it later. We might have to maybe switch these colors. It might have something to do with the gradient itself. I think we can go with this for now. So Although one thing I would like to try is let's just try black here. Let me cut this to see if we can see if it's just the RGBA. Okay, well, let's use the RGBA. And let's leave it at around 55 for now. And what we're going to do as well is we're going to call another transform on it. So I'm going to put 55 where that was. And then on the transform, I'm going to also call scale. In scale, we'll go your X and your Y. So 1 and 1 will just be 0. I want to make it horizontally like maybe half. So this will make it kind of skinnier. Let's try, oh, I think because I rotated, it'll probably be opposite, right? Oh, I think this is the one that we don't do the comma with. Yeah, okay, so that looks crazy. Okay, let's just try to scale the whole thing down maybe. 0.75. Okay, so I think we'll work with this for now. We'll see what else we can do. So let's just move this down a little bit. Let's just use a little margin top. 2VW. Okay, and then let's call a pseudo class. Okay, and we're just going to make the little fins. So we're going to make these parts. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the top part. I'm just going to give it a height. We'll just copy this guy. Height and a width to begin with. Alright, and then let's make sure that we set this to position relative. And we're going to need our position absolute and our content blank. And then these are probably going to be maybe around like, I don't know. Let's try 12 and 12 for now. We can tweak it. Okay, so we're going to do these with our pseudo classes. And let's give them a background color. No, let's give them a gradient too. Well, we're feeling fancy today. So let's just say I'm going to take these out and get rid of this last one. Okay. Alright, cool. So I think we might want this to be a bit bigger. So let's make these like 15. And I also think we should make this guy just a little bit bigger. Let's say 75. Okay, so I'm going to start to tweak these shapes. So I'll just grab these friends here. And notice how this guy, because this guy's rotated, this guy is also rotated. So I rotated this one negative 45 degrees, so it rotated to the right. So if we want to target these guys, let's just put like ones here for now. And for me, it's just the easiest way to do this is just to look at it visually. Obviously, you look at something visually. Grab our before here. I love that these like befores pop up here. I think it's extremely cute. And we'll just start to tweak this shape now. Let's take a look at what it kind of looked like. All right, so it should kind of be more square over here and more pointy over there. So we're going to try to replicate that shape. I think we're over here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put this down here so I can see. Cool. So first of all, I think what we'll do is we'll do a transform rotate. Just so we can get one of, oh, maybe not. Let's leave that for now. Okay. And then maybe I want this one to be a little more like that. Okay, let's try this for now. Okay, we can always rotate this later, or which we will literally do now. So we'll rotate this a bit. So let's say okay, maybe a little less. Okay, so now let's use our top to push it down. And then just remember that, you know, it's being moved from on top of the rotate. So we'll have to do top and left. We'll just have to kind of tweak these until it does what we say, pretty much. Okay, that looks, I think that looks okay for now. Maybe we want to just rotate it a tiny bit more. Okay, cool. So now what we'll do, grab this friend here. Throw this in here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same, almost the exact same thing, but we're just going to flip it. So I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to just copy this exact same thing and do after. See if we can get it to do something. Okay. Okay, cool. So I think I want it to stay the same, and then I think we're going to try another transform. Because what we can do, okay, so let's look up our transforms, because there's a way that we can just flip something. So we want scale, skew. That's not what we want. Let's see. Let's look at some other options here. So I kind of wanted to just like flip around. And I know that there's a way that I can do that. Let's see, maybe it's CSS 3D transform. Yeah, so I want this one pretty much. But I'm not going to animate it for now. Rotate Y. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's what we want. We want rotate X. So let's try that. Rotate Y. And let's see if we can get that to work. So we have a rotate, and then we'll try rotate Y. Hopefully it doesn't break everything. And let's try like, is it percentage? Degrees. 90? Let me see. So maybe that's too many rotates. It might be too many rotates. I thought I could be clever and do less work. Let's just see where it went. Okay, there it is. So maybe if we try, let's try to get rid of this one. If we try, yeah, okay. So we can just do, oh, duh, okay. We can just do rotate instead of rotate Y, especially since the shape is kind of the same on both sides. We'll go this way. I'm so smart. And then we'll just move it over. Again, we'll have to kind of toggle till it does what we want. Almost there. You go here. Okay, I think that's pretty good for now. Okay, and let's grab this. Do our after. Okay. Cool. So if you want to change the stacking order of these things, it is possible. However, it is a bit complicated. It involves restacking the parent of your parent, changing the z-index. And it works sometimes, but I'm not getting it to validate here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to research it a bit more and have a better solution for y'all when we work on this in class. So long story short, go ahead and just create all of your individual pieces for the icons, and we'll worry about the stacking order of them when we get in class. So we'll do a whole workshop on that together. So next video is going to show you how to do the cloud shapes and then do a little bit of an animation review. Okay, bye.